Welcome, everybody. I am Pugs Moran, host of the Rant, every day around about noon, non-political talk for regular people. Lifestyle-driven, current events conversation every day at noon from the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios in the beautiful E-Gallery. Today, we're going to talk about something that hits close to home, and by that, I mean just a couple of blocks away from where we do this show here in the Design District, Dallas MAYHEM. Oh, my goodness. Now, I'm a kid from the south side of Chicago. This is the kind of thing that I expect normal, right? This is only in Chicago, they say. No, man, check this out. This occurred just last night. And why do I want to talk about it? I'll tell you why. There was a shooting on Friday night, claimed the life of one man, a security guard, at a CVS store, the Main Street CVS. If you're familiar with this area, and I am, which is the reason I'm so interested in this story. I lived there. I lived there for a good period of time. That was my CVS. I used to drink on Main Street. You know, there's what was that place? Like a roly-poly or a witch sandwich right there that I enjoy. And it was always sketch, you know. I mean, it was funky. Dallas is downtown. Dallas is Main Street. At least when I lived there, it was funky, but it wasn't really dangerous per se. I wouldn't expect, certainly not with some of the rents that I saw popping up there in the buildings they were refurbishing in that area. It wasn't dangerous. So here, let me give you the story here. This occurred on Friday night in downtown Dallas at the CVS store. This is the 1400 block, it says. 1400 block of Main Street. A man died after a Friday night shooting at a CVS store in downtown Dallas. The Dallas Police Department told WFAA that officers responded at approximately 11:05 p.m. Friday to a shooting call in the 1400 block of Main Street. When officers got there, they found a man had been shot. The man, later identified as Anthony, oh boy, again, got to apologize here. You know, I'm a white Irish Catholic kid. I was raised and educated in public schools in the 1970s. Sometimes I struggle with ethnic last names. The victim here has been identified as 39-year-old Anthony Ijanu. Ijanu sounds, an African origin, possibly. 39-year-old gentleman. He was transported by Dallas Fire Rescue to a local hospital where he died. This according to DPD. It says here 2 juveniles. All right, so what happened? How did this 39-year-old man end up dead on sidewalk right there in front of the Main Street CVS in downtown Dallas? Apparently, Chief Rhodes, it was Rhodes who said this. Chief Rhodes said 13 and a 15-year-old are responsible. They were shoplifting at the CVS. Rhodes said the 13-year-old tried to run out the back door of the store, but it was locked. And when he tried to run out the front, our victim, Anthony Ijanu stopped him. Security guard at the CVS, 13-year-old kid, stealing. Security guard sees him. Security guard steps in front of the door. Kid pulls out a gun, murders security guard right there. Now, the reason that I say it like that, and the reason I want you to kind of take a walk with me on this story, is because I know I do. I guess I'm only speaking for myself. I know some of you agree. I know that whenever I see these videos going viral of people stealing from our stores, stealing from our vendors, our individual hardworking, let's not kid ourselves. They're not stealing from Mom, Pa, Kettle. They're stealing from the CVS Corporation or the Walmart Corporation. That's the Target Corporation. But we always see in these videos, we see security guards and we see people who work at these stores. We see them doing nothing. And we're kind of outraged by it. Until we learned that it's not literally, it is not in the job description of those people to stop people from shoplifting. They're not allowed to. It's not that. I am certain that when they just see someone so flagrantly just tossing aside the rules of civilized society and stuffing their pockets with stuff aisle to aisle while making dead eye contact with you the whole time. I am certain that that person in that Target vest or whatever is freaking the hell out inside, wanting to absolutely murder this person, not because of the great loss, but because of the sheer audacity. What are you doing? How is it that suddenly we all exist in a world where we're supposed to just sit here and accept the fact that anybody can walk into any store who doesn't have money to pay for something and stuff their pockets with this stuff? Oh, the madness. So we've all been there. Friday night at CVS on Main Street in Dallas, we learned why they don't. This man, this 39-year-old security guard hired by CVS, decided to block the exit of the 13-year-old who had just stolen everything. And the kid pulled out a gun and killed him. So that's why they don't. Okay, all right, case closed. Now, are we all a bunch of John Waynes, John Rambos? No, we're all a bunch of John Wayne Bobbitts in reality, because we can't judge what these people are going to, what we are going to do. We all want to believe that we're heroes, and that would not happen. I don't know. I don't know how I would act. Never been in war. Some of you have. Some of you know, I suppose. Some of you are firemen. Some of you are policemen. Some of you have been in war. Me, I've been married and divorced twice, so I've taken some licks, but I really don't know how I would behave if completely put to it. I'd like to think that I'd behave honorably, admirably, in a way that my 15-year-old son, I don't know. Do you know what I do know? I know that Anthony Iganu, 39 years old, he did. He stepped in. He was a security guard. He said, you know what? I'm going to do so. I'm going to stand there and say, no, young man, I don't think so. I'm going to give you a stern talk. I don't know what the vibe was. I don't know what the energy was. But that kid pulled out a gun and killed that man. Killed that hero. Was he armed? I don't know. Are these armed guards? Did he have a chance? Did he draw his gun? I don't know. There aren't details available. But we do know that when the rubber hit the road and a man was asked to be a man and stop something that was just a flagrant violation of the rules of civilized society, that this man, 39-year-old security guard at a CVS on Main Street in Dallas, he said, you know what? I'm supposed to do something here. And he died for it. So there you go. That man got that question answered. And the result is probably the reason that a lot of us have second thoughts about, putting on that cape. And I ain't talking about your white knight bullshit. I'm not talking about you guys trying to get laid by swooping in and helping a girl who's having a difficult time. Nah, that ain't heroic. That's transactional. This guy was heroic. Now, let's talk about some of the reasons why these things happen. Why don't these people get involved? Well, I'll tell you, it's a bit more sinister than maybe you think. It ain't cowardice. It ain't self-preservation. It's greed. The companies, again, if you're stealing from mom and pop kettle, I'm pretty sure that, cousin Johnny might be waiting for you on the porch when you come out with a shovel to the back of the head. That's how family businesses run and protect their income. Corporations don't have that. Corporations don't have that concern. Corporations like CVS, Walgreens, Target, Walmart, these people make money hand over fist. They have entire loss prevention units where they pay people extraordinary amounts of money to figure out exactly how much they can lose through theft and still maintain multiple yachts in their marinas. That's what they do. So they've decided, most of them, I don't know what the policies are for each individual corporation that faces this. But most of them have decided that it's better to just let these people steal than have to pay a massive lawsuit when their security guard gets involved and, blinds somebody accidentally. Because this is the sinister math problem that they served or that they figured out. They're going to lose X amount of dollars through theft. they're going to hire security at all of these stores, and it's going to cost them X amount of dollars. But it's not going to cost them a lot of money because, let's be honest, the security guards that are hired to stand there, oftentimes they're retired police doing a second job or whatever, or a lot of times they're just people who couldn't make the police force. So a lot of times they're just people who, they can get a job as a security guard, but that's about as far as their law enforcement career is going to go. Not exactly the cream of the crop, and I don't mean to, throw shade on an entire profession, but let's be honest. They've made movies, Mall Cop, and, we know. So what the big companies have decided is that they're not going to put multi-million-dollar civil rights violation lawsuits into the hands of a bunch of people they're paying less than minimum wage. They're not going to trust that these people are going to make the decisions in the moment. They're going to keep them out of court. Because one guy, one CVS security guard touches the wrong kid and that kid falls and breaks his hip and now he's got a limp for the rest of his life. That kid's going to go get a lawyer. And that lawyer ain't suing that security guard. He's suing CVS. So they've decided that instead of worrying about this, they're just going to let people steal from their stores, and the security guards are there for nothing more than a deterrent. That's the sinister reality of why these things happen. And the real boots on the ground reality occurred on Friday night in Dallas. And that is when somebody does get fed up with seeing this, and they do end up standing up and fighting, saying this is wrong. I don't care what corporate policy says. I'm going to block this exit because this is wrong. Said 39-year-old, oh God, did I have his Anthony? I can't say his name. It's all right. The vibes are there. If he's, he's a dead guy, so he's probably catching the vibes. I'm sending out some. I thank him. We should all thank him. We should all question everything else, but thank him for being somebody who was like, you know what, this is nonsense. All right. That's going to do it. Thank you so much. This has been a quick hit. You can catch my commentaries every day, Monday through Friday at noon on the Radio Misfits Network, or you can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, all of that kind of stuff. Pugs Moran. As I say, the Rant, everyday lifestyle, stream of consciousness, conversation, talk radio the way it just isn't being heard anywhere else. They don't hire me on AM talk radio because I don't carry water for anybody. I'm not partisan. I am somewhere in the middle and I go back and forth. But we have fun every day. Join the chat room for non-political, that's most important, non-political lifestyle talk every day at noon. The Rant here in Dallas. I'm Pugs Moran.